You are interested in the unknown, the mysterious, the unexplainable. That is why you are here.
All right, welcome back to the Code Red Show, everybody. We're going to do another comic book episode today. Today, with me is Jim. Hey, Jim, how you doing?
Pretty good, sir. How about yourself?
I'm fantastic. Glad to be back with you on the show, talking about comic books. We might as well get this right underway. Let me see.
Sure.
So, I haven't practiced this in a while. Should not questionable ads there. I should have thought of that. Maybe I can edit that out. All right, so here is issue number 8 of Badger. Badger was a cool indie comic from First Comics back in the 80s, created by Mike Barron, a guy who is still out there in the indie comic scene doing crowdfunding comic books. He recently came out with a new Nexus. Nexus, I believe, was another comic book that was out, like, running simultaneously with Badger, also on First Comics, if I remember correctly. And I just remember that getting all kinds of awards. Everyone was always like, Nexus is one of the best comics, but I don't think I really read it very often back then. These indie comics, even though, I loved Badger, $1.75 was a lot of money back in the 80s. And
it was, yeah.
your comic book budget, you had to stretch your dollar as far as you could go.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember in this era, probably a few years after this issue came out, seeing Dark Knight issue 1 on the shelf and thinking, wow, that looks incredibly cool. And I think I picked it up and it was like $2.95 or something. And I was like, ouch, I'm not getting that. What an idiot. I mean, I don't know if that was first printing, but of course that went up in value, big time. Wasn't a few months later I found out that Dark Knight Returns was such a huge deal. So always regret that. So and yeah, the indie comics like First and Eclipse were more expensive than DC and Marvel, so did not get as many of those. Of course, I always read Cerebus. Cerebus was one of the most expensive comic books, but that was also my favorite, so I was willing to pay like $1.70 for that thin little comic book. But anyway, so here we have typical Badger shenanigans. Here's Badger doing battle with a cool demon. It's a great cover. I think it really pops. Badger, I believe, is using Malaysian butterfly swords, he calls them.
Oh, okay.
And this issue begins with, like, it says it's usually letters to the editor, but for some reason they're not printing any letters in this issue. It's called Dear Larry because I believe that is one of the idiosyncrasies of Badger. He'll call people Larry. He'll call everyone Larry.
All right.
Yeah, as we'll get into, Badger is schizophrenic. He's got multiple personalities. And here we see he's planning a team up with Coyote. I remember hearing about Coyote back in the 80s, but I never read a single issue of it. Do you know anything about Coyote?
I don't actually know. I mean, I remember Badger, but I know very little about him. Was it from Canada, the comic? Canadian?
I know Badger talks about Canadian geese, and I'm not sure.
Okay.
I don't remember if the character's actually from Canada.
Yeah.
Or what the whole connection is, but I know he's a big fan of geese, and there are some geese in this issue.
Cool. No,
But
I do remember seeing First Comics on the shelf in my comic shop, but I didn't really, back then it was just from DC Marvel. I didn't really get into the independents just yet.
right.
Like later on, I get the things like Love and Rockets, things like that.
Sure, I remember that. Yeah,
Penny Century, but that's very cool. Like I like it.
Yeah. I mean, Mike Barron, of course, he wrote for DC. The main thing I remember was he wrote post-crisis Flash. When the
Yes, that's
Flash
right.
started over from issue 1, that was an iconic cover. That was a big deal. Everyone had that. They made Kid Flash. They promoted him to Flash after
Yes.
Barry Allen died tragically in the crisis. But yeah, so this I think both Badger and Coyote kind of changed comic book companies a little bit here and there. They were creator owned. So a comic book company might go out of business and they would bring their creation somewhere else. And I remember hearing about Coyote in the 80s, but for the early 80s, I did not have a comic book store to go to. And I feel like Coyote was a type of comic book that was only available in a comic shop, direct sales. But it's, as it says here, Coyote was created by Steve Englehart, who is a writer I like a lot. So I hope to look into Coyote soon. And it looks super cool.
That is cool.
Check out that character. So the issue of Badger begins with Badger in a mental hospital, as he it's a common setting for the Badger. I think he is schizophrenic. I think this orderly here is talking to you, the reader, like, hey, let me show you around this ward, and here's like a serial killer, and here's an axe murderer. And here is Badger, Norbert Sykes. Seeing kind of a catatonic state, and our friendly orderly decides to go over, starts kind of picking on him because he's like, Norbert is just a vegetable. But of course, even though he's a vegetable, Norbert could still whoop this guy's ass, beats him up. And so the orderly gets in trouble. They're trying to figure out what to do with Norbert. Badger can talk to animals, and here a praying mantis sneaks into a cell, talks to him. I think is giving him a warning of sorts. Here the orderly is getting in trouble. Here some friends, associates of Badger come and talk to him in the hospital, trying to figure out a way to get him out. They're not planning to break him out or anything. This guy down here in the corner, this guy's name is Ham. His real name is a completely unpronounceable Welsh name. Ham is short. He's like, a centuries old wizard. And this is kind of like a crazy Magnum PI. You have this, instead of Tony Hillerman, you have this guy Ham, who kind of has Badger as a sidekick. He goes off and does adventures, and they live in a big mansion. There's a woman there. I forget. She's a lawyer, or I forget exactly what her job is. But yeah, they're a team. And so here, Badger is working out with his buddy in the mental hospital. Here we have Ham, as he's a ancient wizard. He kind of runs the operation. Badger kind of works for him, all right. Whoa. So now this issue is not approved by the Comics Code, and here you see why. Here a demon is coming to visit Ham. As you can see, he's killed a dog, a cat, and a human over here.
Wow.
And I'm not sure what he's saying to Ham here, and I don't think it really matters. I think that is not an important part of the plot. He wants Ham to do something, and he's going to kill and sacrifice all kinds of humans and animals. So Ham really needs to get Badger out of the mental hospital soon as possible. So they figure out a way, get him out of the hospital. They get him discharged. He's like, they're like, there's this bad guy. We need you to take care of us. And Badger is like, I don't kill people. And he's like, well, it's not a person. It's a smelly demon from another dimension. So Badger, well, why didn't you say so in the first place? No problem. So, So, of course, the demon comes back. Badger comes along, kicks him in the face. He's got his Malaysian butterfly swords. They have a big fight, and no demon is a match for the Badger. Badger stabs him. At one point, manages to spin him on his head right here. Yao, a breakdancing kung fu demon. It's too horrible. And then here, again, I think the comics code would not be enchanted with this image.
No.
If you look closely, you see Badger is cutting off all the demon's limbs and head, turns him, and here just turns him into mulch.
Wow.
Into a slurry. And so
Wow.
and so then they got to bury the sacrifices the demon made, and here they're clinking wine glasses, and that's pretty much it until the next adventures. And so I think that is that's how I remember Badger being. A lot of violence, cool stuff, some mysticism, occult demons, and it was a very entertaining comic book. I mean, especially for like sociopathic teenagers. We all loved it. It was perfect. I'd love to see a team up with Badger and Ralph Snart. You ever read Ralph Snart?
I haven't, but I know. Excuse me. I haven't, but I know of him. That was, I think, was that Now Comics, I believe.
Could have been. I'm not sure, but yeah. Ralph Snart was awesome, and I think he'd get along good with the Badger. So,
was he also in a mental hospital too, Ralph Snart? I think maybe.
Oh, I would imagine at some point he must have ended up in a mental facility. So, all right. So I recognize the crisis here.
Yes, exactly. So what I thought I would do. So the first time we did this, I talked about Superman. The second time I talked about Batman. The third time I talked about Wonder Woman. So I thought, well, you know what? This time let's talk about a villain. Because the villains are just as important as the heroes. I think every hero definitely needs a good villain. I think the greater the challenge, the greater the hero is, and it's tough because the villains are willing to do things that most of the heroes aren't willing to do. So that makes it harder for sometimes the hero to defeat the villain. But we have some of DC's best villains right there. You see Mirror Master, Clock King, Dr. Sivana, Luthor. But I thought I would talk about the Joker. So even if you're not a comics fan, you know who the Joker is.
Of course, yes.
Yeah. Joker's been around since 1940. So almost as long as Batman. And, we've seen him in comics, TV, merchandise. We've seen him in films. Some of you probably know there's a Joker movie. Another one coming out in October. So we'll see how that is. I've heard mixed things. Let's see. So I think every villain, the best ones, have a motivation. So here we have Dr. Doom, and I think Dr. Doom, he commits evil deeds because he wants what's best for Latveria, or that's what he says.
Yep.
Then we have a guy like Magneto, who wants what's best for Homo Superior.
Mm-hmm.
And doesn't really care what he has to do to make that goal happen. The Joker,
complex
however,
villains.
Yeah, you can say that. Yeah, complex villain. That's a good. Yeah, that's right. But the Joker, however, just thinks it's funny. I don't really think he has much motivation. He's just crazy. So I think he's the exception where he doesn't really have much motivation. He's just sick. He's just crazy. Let's see. So his first appearance was in Batman #1 in 1940. Let's see. He actually appears in 2 stories in this very issue,
Hmm.
which I didn't know, but it's a Joker story, a Hugo Strange story, a Catwoman story, and finally another Joker story. So let's see. So this guy, um, I think most people think that Bob Kane, or for years he was credited as being the creator of Batman, Robin, Joker, Penguin, Riddler, but as we
Yep.
found out years later, he really didn't do as much as he wanted people to believe he did.
No.
I believe that his uncle was a patent attorney. So
Oh,
basically,
right. Yeah.
so it's kind of in his ear. It's like, hey, so he wasn't. A lot of people died and comics died broke, but this guy seemed to just get a lot for so little.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Now this guy, this is Bill Finger. It's said that he was the one that created a lot of the Batman mythos, the Batman lore we know today. You know,
Yeah.
Christopher Gordon, the Joker, or the Batcave, the Batmobile. A lot of it was his.
Yeah.
And this guy, this is Jerry Robinson. Towards the end of his life, but he was a
Mm-hmm.
big part of creating the Joker. And the inspiration for the Joker was the silent movie called The Man Who Laughs,
Right.
starring Conrad Veidt.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see right here, yeah, pretty. You can see the resemblance.
Yeah.
That's pretty
Yeah.
terrifying. That's pretty
Yeah.
scary. um, let's see. Yeah, even for a silent movie, it's still pretty scary. Um, but that was just one part of his, his inspiration. The other was playing cards.
Oh, yeah.
Playing cards. So, I'm terrible. I don't know about you. I'm terrible playing cards. I mean, I guess that's a good hand right there. I guess I probably would be really bad
Yeah.
at cards. So I probably ask the guy next to me. It's like, hey, is this any good? Um,
Yeah. A straight flush, I think. But
it,
yeah, yeah. I
it
don't play a
might
lot of
be.
poker.
It might be. Yeah, I think it might be.
Yeah.
Ace, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think a royal is like a 10, a king, a queen, a jack, and an ace, I think, is a royal
Royal.
flush. I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um, but yeah, there's the Joker. Let's see. So just want to kind of go on a little sidebar here about clowns. Clowns, I think, originally kind of meant to entertain children. Here is Bozo the Clown, who I grew up with watching. His show would come on Monday through Friday from Channel 9 in Chicago. And they're
Mm.
also corporate mascots. Like here we have Ronald McDonald.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as well known as those two are known in popular culture, I think clowns are better known as villains. Here we
Mm.
have Pennywise from It. We all float down here. And of course we have the killer clowns from outer space.
Well, another classic. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So just something about them just makes them. I think clowns are quite frankly kind of creepy, and I didn't know this, but apparently there is a phobia. The fear of clowns. I believe it's chorophobia. Is the
Mm.
fear of clowns. Um, I think this phrase wasn't invented until the 80s, but I think a lot of people are just scared of clowns.
Oh
Um,
yeah, yeah. They always have been.
yeah, I just was trying to get to the root of why, but so phobia naturally means fear, but I'll try to pronounce it as best I can. Yeah, that apparently means stilts
Huh.
because clowns are known to use stilts in their
Mm-hmm.
acts. But the thing I really couldn't get to the root of is why are people afraid of clowns? Is because we really can't see their face. We can't see their true expression. I just can't, I couldn't really get to the root of like why are people afraid of clowns and why they work so well as villains.
Well, it's definitely one theory that you know, we we're so evolved. You know, our psychology is so evolved to see, you know, look into other people's eyes,
Yeah,
get a lot of information from the expression on their face. And clowns, of course, they're not just concealing their expression, but they're distorting it in such a weird way that maybe that just triggers some kind of response in people, some sort of fear response, something like that. It
Okay.
seems, overwhelmingly people are, and to tell you the truth, clowns never bothered me that much, but it does seem like overwhelmingly people are creeped out by clowns.
Yeah, I mean, I liked Bozo as a kid, and I liked, Ron McDonald, and I guess who other else?
Yeah, Ronald McDonald never bothered me. I loved
No,
McDonald's when I was a kid.
yeah, I mean, I think we saw a live Ronald McDonald show in like the '70s or late '70s, early '80s, but he actually came and put on a show, like a magic show. So I thought, oh, this is
Yeah.
really cool. You won't see that
Cool.
now.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's see. So here we go. Here's the first appearance of the Joker, and that face, you can kind of see Conrad Veidt in that face.
Hmm.
It's a very scary face. And let's see. Here we have this old couple listening to the radio. This is before, I think TV was around, but I think just a lot of families just didn't, a lot of people just couldn't have it. So they would turn to the radio for entertainment.
Hmm.
And these folks are listening to the radio, and the static comes on, and here's this threatening message. Tonight at precisely 12 o'clock midnight, I will kill Henry Claridge and steal the Claridge diamond. Try not to stop me. The Joker has spoken. So they're just kind of just like, huh? Here we have poor Henry Claridge, who's this really rich guy. The clock strikes at 12, and he's like, I'm still alive. Oh, thank God. And he starts laughing, and then too late, he's dead. So it's just that alone right there is just, that's really creepy. So just, it's kind of horrible to think, basically this poison, this toxin gets you, and you laugh until you die. That's just, that's pretty terrifying.
Oh yeah.
And it leaves you just, when you're dead, just like leaves you with this like, hard grin. Let's see, but he's not the first victim. Here, see with the Joker. Oh, of course, on the dead body, he's got a playing card in his hand. Let's see. So here's a Joker. I guess it is hideout or hacienda, whatever it is. Plotting his next move. And here we see Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson. Let's see. Another guy. I'm gonna die. I'm 5 minutes away. I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. And then, too late. Another guy's dead.
Yeah.
So let's see. So Batman and Robin decide to, just take this guy on. Just beat up some henchmen.
Nice.
Here comes the Joker out of a window. Batman follows him, grabs onto his car.
Excellent.
They're fighting, of course. I'm going to kill you. Let's see. Blast you, fall. So Batman gets knocked over into a bridge, lands in some water, but he does survive. The Joker also is a master of disguise. We see right here, disguised as a police officer. And I think we kind of see that in a little bit of The Dark Knight, where he was disguised as a soldier or a cop, I believe. I think, yeah.
The movie?
Yeah, the Dark Knight
Yeah.
movie. Yeah. Let's see. Robin tries to go solo, but he gets conked out with the Joker in disguise. New beret, bunk. But, good old Batman, always the detective, has the right tools for the job. Let's see, finds footprints. This flashlight. And let's see. Of course, fisticuffs. You made the Joker, but I'm the king of clubs. Bop. Yeah. Let's see. Click, click. Oh, yeah. Blast, die. Blast you, die. Why don't you die? Hasn't the Joker ever heard of a bulletproof vest? And of course, bullets only have so many bullets in them. Click, click. Bullets empty. Chamber's empty. So he would just throw. Then what a lot of villains would do, it's like, well, I'll just throw the gun at him. And let's see. Gets a kick to the face with from Robin.
Robin gets his revenge.
Yes, exactly. You just played your last hand, Joker, and then the Joker is in prison. However, this isn't his only appearance in this issue. He does appear again, at the end, the Joker returns.
Already.
So he's already back. Now, originally, what Bill Finger and Jerry Robinson wanted to do was actually kill the Joker and leave him for dead.
Mm-hmm.
Here we have Batman and Joker fighting again, and the Joker stabs himself in his heart with his own toxin, and he laughs and he dies, or so they
Oh,
think.
wow.
So apparently, Bill Finger thought, well, if we let him live, it's going to make Batman and Robin look like they're incompetent. So let's just kill him off.
Mm-hmm.
However, the editor at the time, Whitney Ellsworth, said, no, don't kill him. Let's leave him around and use him over. Let's use him again.
Mm-hmm.
And of course, 1940, they've used him again and again and again and again and again. So at the last minute, they made this panel saying, "What's the matter, Doc? You look like you've seen a ghost." I won't have just believed it, but this man isn't dead. He's alive, and he's going to live. So that was added in there before the at the last minute. So
Okay.
Joker got to live again. He got to live in a fight another day and another day and another day and another, and the rest of his day is history. He's been fighting Batman ever since. For how many years is that? 1940. So it's 80 years. Like probably over 80 years, I guess.
Yeah, huh. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these old characters are coming into public domain now. I mean,
They are.
they don't, I mean,
Yeah.
I think they talk about Superman. Of course, Superman came before Batman. But yeah, someday Joker will be in public domain.
He probably will soon. Yeah. I think
Yeah.
Superman's already there. Or no, it's Mickey Mouse, I think, is one, but I think soon. I know the time is coming up, either next year or the
Yeah.
year after, but yeah, it's coming. So that's going to be interesting when it happens. But
Yeah.
also, I didn't see this. Robin's regulars, I never heard of this. Readiness, obedience, brotherhood. I can't quite make out what the I says, but just, yeah, I never saw that. Robin's
Yeah.
regulars. Yeah. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
maybe folks can leave in the comments just, why are, why are most folks afraid of clowns, but you think it's more of that we can't really see their true face, and whenever they make a movement, it's always very exaggerated.
For sure. For sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Um, yeah. So, yeah, thank you for the history lesson.
No problem.
As you know, Joker is totally ubiquitous in modern culture, but
Yes.
yeah, I've never read these early stories. See, Joker wasted no time in returning
Yeah.
after
Stayed
his
for about a
first
panel or
encounter
two.
with, and it would be interesting to look at, his later history, because Joker went through a period where I think, he really wasn't cool. No one
Oh,
cared
no.
about the Joker for a bunch of years until Frank Miller got his
Yes.
hands on him. And and then that was a huge renaissance, I would say, between that and Jack Nicholson. Since
Yep.
the 90s, Joker's been a superstar, I think, as far as I could tell.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. The Killing Joke also, that was another big moment with the
Mm,
bringing the Joker and being one of the more popular DC characters. But I
of
was going to
course,
say, it's
yeah.
like, Batman's got a lot of merchandise, but so does the Joker.
Oh, definitely, yeah. Yeah, I mean, how many villains have their own major movie?
Yeah, not many.
Yeah, I
Not many at
mean,
all.
yeah, I none come to mind right now aside from Joker.
Yeah, wow, that's really, I guess, Black Adam, but he's more of an anti-hero, I guess. But
There you go.
I
Yeah,
think
yeah. Black Adam recently had a movie. Sure.
there's not many though. There's not many. Do you think you'll see the
No.
Joker as a foily adieu, or I can't? My French is really bad.
Nah, I don't know. I will see what people say about it. I did enjoy the first one.
It
I,
was
I
really
am
good.
a little bit skeptical about this one.
Yeah,
So
I am too, a little bit. Yeah.
I mean, I know she's really popular, but you know, I'm old. I'm too old for Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn has never just been an interest of mine. I never watched, I know it's a sin to say this. People love the Batman animated series so much. I think
Hmm.
that's where she came from, right?
Originally, yeah, by Paul Dini was created her,
Yeah.
and then in 1999, she became so popular they said, okay, we'll just bring her in the comics. So yeah, and now she's become very popular.
Oh yeah, she's huge, and I just don't care about her, so
I
I'm
understand.
not getting psyched up for this movie. But if it sounds like it's going to be good, yeah, sure, maybe I'll check it out.
There is one thing, I'm not sure if I should say this or not, but I guess we can always edit it out later. But Harvey Dent is in the movie too, so that's interesting to
Oh
me.
really?
Yeah, it's like I guess Harley's okay, but I do like Two-Face, so I'm wondering if we'll see. Yeah,
Oh yeah.
see.
Two-Face, another great Batman villain. Batman has one of the best rogues galleries.
He really does. Yeah, the Riddler, Catwoman, Penguin's okay. I mean, he's
Hmm.
yeah, he's all
Sure,
right.
sure. Yeah. Danny DeVito was great in Batman Returns. That was a great villain.
He was, yeah, he was. I remember it's like, by the way, how's Fred Atkins? You're all partner. It's like
Mm.
Fred's on vacation, I believe. It's like, oh really? It's like, hi, remember me? I'm Fred's hand. Apparently, he found Fred's body all cut up, and he's
Yeah.
you flush it, I flaunt it.
All right. Well, thank you, Jim.
Sure, no
That
problem.
was edifying. Good to see you again.
Good to see
And
you
to
too.
all our viewers, yeah, like Jim mentioned, leave your comments about Joker, Clown. Were you a 80s indie comics collector? Do you remember Badger? Um, and hopefully we'll be back soon talking about Tomb of the Cybermen.
Exactly. Yes, one of my all-time favorites.
uh, bye, Jim. See
Hey,
you
take care,
later,
Jason. I'll see you.
everyone.
Take care. Bye, everybody. Bye.